What if you could have an AI coding assistant that actually understands Swift and Swift UI, not just generic code suggestions? Claude AI can actually live inside Xcode, helping you write better code faster. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to set it up, what it's actually good for, and the prompts to get the best results. Let's go ahead and add AI to Xcode. Before we jump in, I do want to just give you a quick reality check. You do need Claude Pro. So where we have pricing, you could totally try out Claude for free, but you won't be able to access it within Xcode directly. You will need the Pro account in order to get that integration. Is it worth it? If you're coding regularly and you value your time, probably. If you're just starting out or just code occasionally, maybe wait until you're shipping real projects. You will also need Xcode 26 or later. I'm running on Tahoe 26.2 and Xcode 26.2, but I believe it was introduced in 26. So if you have Claude Pro, let's go ahead and set it up. You'll want to already be signed into Claude on your browser. Then in Xcode, either in a project or while you just boot it up, press the Xcode button in the top right, then navigate to Settings. Once you're in Settings, you'll want to navigate to the Intelligence tab. You'll see that there's ChatGPT in Xcode, anything else you've provided, and Claude in Xcode. We're going to go ahead and press that, and it's going to ask us to sign in. It's then going to prompt us to go to our browser. For me, because I'm already signed in on Safari, it's going to ask us would we like to connect our Claude Chat account. We can either authorize or decline. Of course, we'll want to authorize. After that, I've been signed in. If you do want to sign out, you of course have the option here, or you can disable it with this toggle. We can close the settings and navigate over to our chat. It defaults to ChatGPT for me. Otherwise, you can press this drop-down menu down here to start a new conversation. We're going to choose Claude in Xcode. So for me, it's Claude Sonnet 4.5. If you don't see Claude after you've signed in, you might want to restart Xcode. Anytime that I do add a new account, I typically restart Xcode anyway. Before we see Claude in action, I just want to give a few tips. You can use the @ symbol to find different structures, functions, properties, etc., as well as different files to reference them. So if we wanted to work specifically in our content view, we can use @content view. Otherwise, it's going to look at the file you currently have open. So we can say in this content view, create a Swift UI landing page. I also like to include what features. So with the following features, we can say gradient background. Let's do purple to blue. App logo at the top. Welcome headline, right? Other than the specifics, I also like it to be like, hey, use modern iOS design, right? We can be as specific as we want. You may also want to say include accessibility, as well as things like comments, explaining key sections, and navigation to a profile page. The other thing to note is we have these little binoculars down here, and what these binoculars do is they allow us to look at the bigger scope of the project. And when we have this like little thunderbolt in the circle, when this is enabled, it's going to automatically make those code changes. If it's off, it's only going to make those suggestions. So let's go ahead and leave it on. We'll hit return. See, it's thinking, we're having a little chat. It's going to help us create a modern Swift UI landing page with all the requested features. We'll give it some time to think. It's usually pretty quick depending on the task. Provides a little chat window. When you hover over this section, you'll notice a little eyeball appears. So say we were to scroll down, we can press on this and it's going to jump to the part of the code that changed. It's going to give us a kind of little key features. It's going to tell us about the accessibility, navigation, code organization, etc. And it looks like it followed as requested. Now, if we press the get started, it's actually already given us like a little sample profile page. Something that's really cool is you can actually ask it to create new Swift files. So I'm going to say create new Swift file for the profile page. Just to save time, I've just included like what I want out of this page if you want to pause it and read it. Otherwise, I'm sure you're probably already making your own suggestions, but it's going to create the new profile view. And we'll see after it's created this in our project navigator, we'll have that brand new Swift file. So we can see the profile view here, and it's actually been added with the A. We can also press on this to be taken to that new Swift file. And there we go. We can also see the preview for it. Here's my name, my profile, etc., etc. So you now have Claude working in Xcode. Just as a note, The more that you use this, and depending on the size of the task, it will take up more of your tokens. Tokens reset every few hours or so, and you will get a little error in your chat saying, hey, wait until this time, then you can resume using Claude. Now, we don't just need to use Claude to do some vibe coding. You could also use Claude for any error handling. So let's go ahead and say, I'm just gonna make some purposeful errors here. Let's say this was spelled wrong. Whenever we use the generate, it's now going to use Claude in order to try to fix that problem. This is a pretty easy problem for it to fix, but we can see that it went to the exact line. It fixed the profile. I typically leave this little lightning block off. I don't like it rewriting my code. I don't have that much trust in it. So let's go ahead and do an example of add a gradient background. I'll show you what it looks like because I don't really like it when it's like vibe codey like that. I'd rather see the suggestions. So it's going to actually give us a proposal, and you can click on this. It's going to show you where in the code it's adding it. And it's like, okay, so we can do a quick like little review. Then when we like it, or if we don't like it, we can keep going. Otherwise, we can press apply, and there we go. We've added the gradient background. When it is making changes, you'll also have the option to revert them if it doesn't go as planned. So the other ways I would be using Claude are to convert from UIKit to SwiftUI. You can also create unit tests. That's what I like to use it for. You can also use it for code explanations, either of full files, or if you're like, oh, I don't know what this account options mean, you can highlight it. You'll get this little pop-up and it'll say, hey, message Claude Sonnet. Or I like to just do the explain feature here. Now it's going to create a new conversation and it's going to say, hey, looking at the selected code, this is what it does. This is why it's private, let, the type, right? This is a great way to learn, especially if you're downloading projects off the internet. Now let's also talk about how to use AI responsibly as a developer. AI is really good for boilerplate code, so any SwiftUI views or model structs, error handling patterns, unit test generation, code explanation, documentation, refactoring, optimization, and like different suggestions, and converting between patterns. So if you want to go from combine to async await, I love combine. I was talking to another developer last weekend. They're like async await all the way. So totally up to you. What shouldn't you use AI for? Well, learning fundamentals, you definitely want to understand the basics yourself. You could ask it to create a learning plan for you, but learning those fundamentals is your own journey. Also, don't use it for security critical code without any review. So any encryption, authentication, definitely don't rely on AI for that. Don't copy and paste or just leave this like little lightning bolt on in vibe code. Do not do that, please. You'll definitely ship bugs that you don't know how to fix, and avoid full debugging. AI can't fix what it doesn't see in context. For small little errors, totally, but it generally can't see the entire scope of your project, and the errors will not get properly resolved. AI definitely accelerates workflows for developers who already understand code. It does not ever replace learning. Also, please don't over rely on AI. The best developers know when to use it and when not to use AI. Otherwise, this $20 a month can pay for itself if it saves you over an hour of work every single month, which is pretty easy to do. If you found this helpful, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Otherwise, dream big, code bigger, and go build something with Claude and let AI handle the boring parts.